Before I got an emulation handheld, I asked an experienced friend who said the Odin 2 was the ultimate Android emulation device. After months of research and videos, after much thought, my handheld needs became clearer. Initially, I just wanted to emulate GBA, PSP. Then I fixed original units, found a PS Vita, tried phone plus controller setups, and even used a handheld for 3DS emulation via phone. I also explored PC streaming. This made me envision a device with top performance, aesthetics, feel, battery life, and universal emulation, even for PC games. And it couldn't be too big or heavy either. Wouldn't such a brick-like handheld be kind of awesome? Today, let's play with AYN's latest Android handheld, the Odin 3, which I consider the ultimate single-screen device. This handheld features a 16:9 1080p OLED screen, the same size as their previous 4 model. This aspect ratio can seamlessly support older square screens, GBA's 3:2, 4:3, and all current mainstream formats. A 16:9 aspect ratio. I chose the transparent blue model. Its body is a sleek single piece of glass with finely curved edges. Speakers are on both sides. Below are the TF card slot, headphone jack, and USB port. On top, the volume and power buttons have different textures, preventing accidental presses. The back features a large fan assembly. My test showed the fan is very powerful, with excellent cooling. For 16:9. The device has 2 ultimate uses, streaming to play PC or console games directly, or playing high-spec native games right on the device. This tests both the feel and performance. Regarding feel, it weighs 384 grams. The Steam Deck is 405 grams. The Thor with a half shell is 400 grams. And a phone with a controller is 409 grams. The sides have large ergonomic curved designs. They fit my large hands perfectly. The buttons have a long travel, the shoulder buttons conform perfectly to my fingers, and the face buttons offer moderate actuation force with a quiet sound. The Hall effect joysticks are quite tall this time, so a special case is needed for storage. However, these tall sticks best replicate a controller's feel, with a very comfortable resistance. For streaming, joystick feel is paramount. The Odin 3's overall feel is personally my top choice. Performance-wise, it packs the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, currently the most powerful. It comes with up to 1TB storage, supports TF card expansion, and an 8000 mAh battery. Performance, battery life, and storage are all top tier. However, the 8 Gen 1 still needs more emulator-specific optimizations. We await these for its full potential. Optimizations and essential firmware updates are necessary to unlock its full potential. I dedicated roughly a week to preparing this video, thoroughly testing various platform games to demonstrate their performance. Naturally, some viewers may be new to Android gaming handhelds. The Odin 3 ships without pre-installed emulators or games, so I put together a compact package for you. Simply download it, transfer it to your TF card, and I'll walk you through the setup. First, you'll need to install MT Manager yourself. Open MT Manager, and then find the Odin 3 integration tool on the disk. Let me show you each part. First, if you want to play PS2 games, you need these BIOS files. The PS2 emulator can only read games with these BIOS files. The second is the NS emulator. The emulator folder contains the firmware and keys. Simply follow the installation guide. Within the Tools folder, you'll discover the wallpaper that was just displayed on my desktop. As for the emulators, you'll need to install them individually. First, launch MT Manager from this file. Then proceed to install Pegasus Frontend, the Retro Arch Core emulator, and ensure all emulators are properly installed. Afterward, launch each emulator at least once. Among other emulators, there's also the PS Vita. There is also an emulator. Then, regarding when later, we will primarily utilize the GameSire emulator for playing PC games. Moving on, we have texture packs. You can easily find installation tutorials for these online. As for useful applications, the GameSire emulator is specifically tailored for emulating PC games. I downloaded this Moonlight streaming version from blogger RCC. It facilitates streaming with exceptionally low latency. These specific configuration packages should then be directly placed within your root directory. For instance, we'll select them here, then drag them across, click copy, and then paste them into the root directory. Afterward, when you launch Pegasus Frontend, it will automatically unpack them. Upon opening the GameSire emulator, you'll find a general settings profile. Utilizing these settings enables you to operate most. For certain PC games and occasionally the Yuzu emulator, you might encounter some bugs upon launching them. Simply follow the setup instructions provided to resolve these issues. Once all the required installations are completed, we can then proceed to play games using Pegasus Frontend. You will need to download the games yourself to get started on Pegasus Frontend. Now, we'll proceed to thoroughly evaluate its performance by putting it through its paces across a diverse range of games, assessing how well it handles each one. This will give us a comprehensive understanding of its capabilities and limitations when subjected to various gaming scenarios and demands. Genshin Impact. It displays a high heat warning, yet the current temperature is quite low, and the fan isn't really turning. All settings are already at their maximum. This game is designed for phones, which generally have poor cooling. Setting the graphics higher can trigger overload warnings, but this device actually has ample performance reserves. This game, if you just slightly increase the graphic settings, it's because it was originally designed for mobile phones, and phone cooling systems are typically very poor. So, if you set it higher, it will register an overload, but actually there's plenty of performance headroom available. See, I've already set everything to the highest possible level, and it's completely maxed out. When using a handheld device like this, which has integrated controllers and an active cooling fan, it can effortlessly handle and completely overpower a game of this kind. I haven't played this game much, but it looks pretty fun. In a little while, let's try playing these 10 games and check out their performance, okay? When this building is rising, it gets really laggy. Later on, when you're flying through the air to fight, it will probably be unplayably laggy, but there are no texture errors. This game focuses on a seamless transition experience using seamless transition tech, so it stutters during hidden loading. It's not a smooth run like Grand Theft Auto V. This one's quite tough to play. Monster Hunter, World, Like a Dragon Gaiden, Sekiro, Devil May Cry, Dark Souls 3, Devil May Cry, all run perfectly. Essentially, it was mostly played with the graphics quality set to a low setting. Next up, we have Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. This particular game is a spin-off of the main Like a Dragon series, focusing on a character's journey to escape his past and embark on a new identity. It's a highly anticipated title that blends action, drama, and elements of Japanese culture, promising an engaging storyline and compelling gameplay experience for fans of the franchise and newcomers alike. He's configured his settings for Like a Dragon Gaiden. Next, we'll try playing Sekiro, but before we dive into the game, we should take a moment to review and adjust the settings specifically for Sekiro, ensuring optimal performance and an enjoyable gameplay experience on this device. And Devil May Cry 4, that one just runs without any issues whatsoever. Then there's Dark Souls 3, and for that one, there's a certain probability it might not actually launch or run smoothly, so it's definitely important to thoroughly examine the system configuration and settings to ensure compatibility and optimal performance. The Devil May Cry 1 to 3 collection is effortlessly playable. It just launches and functions without any trouble at all. Now let's give the NS emulator a shot. For the Switch, you could consider downloading a driver, which might offer a slight performance enhancement. Right here, in the driver management section, simply click Get. Once you've clicked Get, it will suggest an 8XX version, so be sure to choose that specific 8XX version. I downloaded version 84.8, so I'll select that one. Now let's proceed to examine each of these games individually. Kicking things off is Ace Attorney. BioShock, unfortunately, is completely unplayable. It simply refuses to launch. Then we have Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. These are all the ones I chose, and I'll walk through them one by one. Starting with Ace Attorney. BioShock is completely unplayable. It just won't start. Next up is Ritual of the Night. This is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. There appears to be a pretty significant texture error here, manifesting as notable graphical glitches and rendering problems. It's all games like Diablo 3, specifically Diablo 3. It's precisely like a shepherd tending to his flock of sheep, ensuring their safety and well-being through constant care and watchful eyes, guiding and protecting them from all harm and danger. The countless failures and tragic events I have encountered press down upon me, and this burden is all because I assisted that unknown person in their quest for the Dark Wanderer. The Final Fantasy 1 to 6 collection runs effortlessly since it's 2D. It features various art styles, so feel free to play it as you wish. It's completely fine. Then there's Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate and Monster Hunter Rise. However, Rise is unplayable. For Generations Ultimate, it gets stuck when you try to enter a name. But if our goal is to play XX on a handheld device, we can certainly utilize the 3DS emulator. To play on it. Whoa, wait a second, that's incorrect. You absolutely cannot proceed further if you're unable to input a name. Next up, we have the Ace Attorney trilogy. Let's enter this specific application, the user app right here. And first, we need to force it to stop. Once that's done and completed, then we can attempt to launch Metro again and see if it works properly. With this emulator, if you exit a game and then immediately try to launch another, you might encounter some issues. You either need to wait a moment, or you have to force stop the application and then restart it. The graphics in this particular game are quite good, but at present we need to await further optimizations. Once the optimizations for the Gen 1 chip are released, this should be absolutely excellent to play. However, currently, there's something somewhat amiss with the textures. Take a look, folks. I would venture to say this is effectively unplayable at present. Next up, we have Red Dead Redemption 1, and I'm quite pleased to report that this one runs absolutely perfectly on this system. When we typically discuss Red Dead Redemption in conversation, we're usually referring to the second installment in the series. It's an interesting fact that the narrative of the first game is actually set chronologically after the events of the second game. There are 7 Resident Evil games. Let's now explore titles like Zelda, The Witcher, and more. And don't forget Persona 5. The textures have a minor bug, but they still look quite good. The Witcher is essentially unplayable at the moment. We will definitely need to wait for subsequent updates to be released. It can actually load, and once you are in, the system's performance is not an issue. The main point is, just take a look at this. On the flip side, The PC version of The Witcher is indeed playable. However, on my PC, the controller wasn't responding, so I couldn't properly test it. Then, considering Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, let's examine Tears of the Kingdom first. The character textures appear to have some glitches. Next, let's take a look at Breath of the Wild, a truly incredible and immersive game that offers an expansive world to explore and countless hours of adventure. And finally, we have several exciting installments from the Resident Evil series to dive into, providing plenty of thrilling and suspenseful gameplay to enjoy. Alright, so this is Resident Evil 4. Looks quite promising indeed. Alright, so this character here, as you can clearly see on the screen, is Kirk. He's one of the prominent figures in this particular game title, and his presence is quite significant within the narrative. We see him now, prominently featured, and his role is quite impactful, adding a layer of depth to the storyline. It's quite interesting to observe him at this moment, don't you agree? He plays a crucial part in the unfolding events. BSAA has just arrived on the scene. Excuse me, could I get a quick comment, please? Excuse me, is this current outbreak at all related to the situation unfolding back in the States?
It's the BSAA, and they're aligned with Guavo. They're involved with the BOWS that the insurgency is employing, which absolutely clarifies why there's a significant number of BSAA troops present. We must evacuate the country immediately.
Excellent. Alright, we're diving into this next one. It's truly quite impressive, and I believe you'll appreciate the intricate details here. We have much to discuss, so let's immerse ourselves and uncover all the features. This promises to be a captivating experience, wouldn't you agree? I'm quite eager to observe its performance. One by one. I want to. You're really dragging me down. You're holding me back, slowing my progress. I think He's aiming for the heart. Yeah, aiming for the heart. I can't quite seem to recall it at the moment. Let's go. Let's spread out and fan out to cover more ground. That's good. Okay, yes, I completely understand. I think that's a very good point you brought up, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. Thank you. It's me. Could you possibly refrain from doing that, as it's creating a bit of a problem here at the moment? This action is causing an issue that we need to address, and your cooperation in stopping would be greatly appreciated as we work to resolve the current situation. Yes, I am perfectly capable of handling that task and executing it successfully.
I'd previously reviewed the dual-screen Thor. I then added a graphics patch. With its dual screens and constant software updates, the Thor perfects dual-screen emulation. This is the Odin 3 by the same company, excellent for retro and streaming. Natively playable PC games are limited. Downloading PC games to the handheld causes continuous heating, damaging memory and components. Copying them to an SD card is better. Then install it. If you need it, wait for 8 Gen 1 software updates. For Switch, many games are playable. Considering PC games, there are solutions for major AAA titles, and small games run smoothly. This is a balanced, new endgame machine in terms of performance, looks, battery, design, and feel. AYN aims to create the best possible endgame device with current tech. This saves everyone the trouble of tinkering. After using Thor and Odin 3, and with my own PC being a top-spec 5090, I can play any game I want. Games and toys are different. Isn't achieving this endgame too easy? But these handhelds cost a lot. For students, don't blindly chase the ultimate setup. Just get the original console for the games you want to play, like a Switch. For GBA, a 30XX device suffices. For PSP, most devices over 500 Yen work. Affordable dual-screen choices include the RGDS or a used NDS, letting you adjust based on budget. But for those wanting no fuss, or with ample funds, the Thor for dual-screen or Odin 3 for single-screen is a complete satisfying solution. Some enjoy the tinkering, others prefer direct gratification, straight out of the box. Perhaps childhood gaming joys are a bygone era, yet occasionally revisiting old games or diving into new ones, anytime, anywhere, offers a little personal solace. This window for relaxation provides a comforting sense of security. Such is the delight my Odin 3 brings. Thank you for watching.